Double Trouble for HIV Positive Women by Kundai Marunya. She said, holding up her face in her palms while her elbow anchored on her thigh as if to support her heavy head. Heavy with a load no human being should be. Tears dripped from her eyes. Every now and again she wipes them with the back of her hand. I could see and feel the pain as she tried to narrate her life story. A tale of hurt, humiliation and torture. Sandra Samunyu, not her real name, is a victim of abuse. My husband has never laid a hand on me, yet I feel like being physically abused is better than the emotional torture I face. She finally manages to let out words, but her voice largely buried in labored breaths, as she tries by all means to gain composure. My sister had invited our neighbor Sandra into our home after she had found her sitting outside crying. This was after her regular scuffle with her husband. Sandra is a 33-year-old mother of two, a 13-year-old girl and a 10-year-old boy. She is trapped in a bad marriage as she sticks on to the old adage, "Ndogarra vana vangu," which literally means I will stick around for my children. Our marriage was not always bad. There were good times too, a lot of good times. She forces a smile as she reminisces of past joys. It is these memories that keep her going. Things started falling apart when she got pregnant with her third child some 5 years ago. The child was supposed to be her last. Instead of bringing her the joys that most expecting mothers experience, it became the genesis of her suffering. As is required, I went for my prenatal HIV test at the local clinic and I tested positive. She sobbed. Hard as it was for me, I told my husband so that he can get tested too and we can start on the medication right away. Instead of being the pillar of support he had placed to be as they vowed, for better or for worse, when they got married, he became the object of her pain, throwing around accusations of promiscuity. Her not being a virgin on their wedding night is one of the main reasons. It had to be her who brought the virus into their marriage. He had accused her of having been with her past lovers after their marriage. Every argument we have always gets back to my life before marriage. See, before him I had a boyfriend I loved very much and we shared our bodies. I always tell my husband this, but he always says there is no measure of knowing for sure how many men I have had sex with, she said. Sandra is one of many women who are accused of adultery after having tested HIV positive, when it could well be their husbands who had contracted the virus through extramarital affairs. Though our society seems to be moving towards a conventional lifestyle where it's now normal or even fashionable to have premarital sex, but many men still expect to marry virgins. You'll be surprised how many young couples come for counseling after having found their partner to have had premarital sex with other people, said Dr. Edmore Mangwana, a marriage counselor. Most of the couples will not have slept together prior to their marriage. Local tradition is against premarital sex, while the dominant religion, Christianity, subscribes to the same notion. Some religious fanatics, especially in the apostolic sects, even enforce regular virginity tests on young girls. Gender activist Priscilla Gurundoro said, "Tradition has always been oppressive of women. It is only women who are required to be virgins on their wedding nights, while men get to enjoy different women before finally settling down." Abstinence has, however, been proven impractical, with the government debating whether or not condoms should be distributed in schools to avoid the spread of HIV virus among minors. A popular church leader was recently in the news for selling anointed condoms that are assured not to burst during intercourse. We have to move forward from oppressive practices and embrace gender-sensitive culture. I, for one, am for enjoying our bodies. Sex is a way of sharing our love, so as long as we love each other, we can make love. married or not, said Gurundoro. Her notions, however, do not sit well with the old guard, who think the preservation of traditional culture is more important in keeping identity in a global village. Our values are slowly being eroded, being replaced by Western ideologies that are destroying our moral fabric as a society, says Sekuru Jemo.